Hello everybody, welcome to Let's Talk About It. Today, I would like to talk about the new Star Wars films being helmed by the Game of Thrones directors Benioff and Weiss. It may not come as a shock that Season 8 was a bit controversial, due to many reasons. I'm not giving my opinion on the writing, but I think we can all agree that the season itself did indeed feel quite rushed. With the 8th season having wrapped up, many fans have taken online to post their complaints. Some even starting a petition to get HBO to redo the entire final season. Many point to Benioff and Weiss as the reason that the final season was so poor, saying that they should have had more seasons and played things out better. Many fans complained that certain characters did things that they would not typically do. With this in mind, I'd like to begin our discussion on how this may or may not affect the upcoming Star Wars films. It's no secret that right now, the Star Wars fandom is in a pretty divided state. Whether you hated or loved The Last Jedi, there's no denying that fans are pretty separated. Some even swearing off all future Star Wars films, pointing to Disney as the reason. So on the main topic, will this affect Star Wars at all? I personally have two trains of thought when it comes to this. Benioff and Weiss are confirmed to be making a trilogy of Star Wars movies in the coming years. My first train of thought is that the only way it'll impact the movies is perhaps in the box office. While I doubt it'll have a huge impact on the numbers, I think that people who are a part of both the Game of Thrones and Star Wars fandoms may skip out on this trilogy for the simple fact that they have no faith in Benioff and Weiss. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be another Solo, which severely underperformed at the box office. In my opinion, Solo wasn't a bad movie, but it just wasn't a movie anyone asked for, and that's what caused its underperformance. My second train of thought is that their directing of the Game of Thrones final season will have absolutely no bearing on their future projects, be it Star Wars or not. The example I want to point to is a little rom-com called You, Me, and Dupree. Considerably one of the worst rom-coms ever made. It has an IMDb score of 5.6, a Metacritic score of 46%, and even worse, a Rotten Tomatoes score of 20%. Now you're probably wondering, why does a rom-com matter in this case? Well, let's take a look at who the directors were for this poorly received movie. You may have heard of them, or some of their projects. They directed some pretty unheard of movies such as Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War. Oh, let's not forget Avengers Endgame, a movie that is projected to finally dethrone Avatar as the #1 movie in the box office. Can you imagine if people looked at the past work of the Russo brothers and just automatically wrote them off as no good directors? We'd be missing out on some pretty amazing movies nowadays. But instead, Disney saw their potential and contacted them to make some of the best MCU movies to date. Look, I'm not saying that Benioff and Weiss Star Wars films are going to be guaranteed bangers or even make $1 billion at the box office. All I'm saying is let's just wait and see. After all film is subjective. Shoot, there are people who didn't even like Endgame. So even when the films do come out, at least give them a chance by seeing the movie first. And if you don't like it, hey, that's on you. But let's not jump the gun and hate on them for something that we don't even know anything about yet. We've still got a few more years anyways, so who knows, maybe all this hate for them will blow over. Anyways, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you think that their reputation from Season 8 of Game of Thrones will hinder their future Star Wars movies? Or do you think people are just overreacting? Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. While you're at it, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to let me know. And if there's anything you'd like to talk about, share it with me in the comments and perhaps I can do a video sharing my thoughts on it. I'll talk to you next time.